It's just another lovely Sunday. Oh, I'm pleased it's not Monday. Oh, anyway, welcome to the Jaden Show. I am Jaden Cornelious, your host with Oh So the Most. The most is I have the most amazing guests on my show, and today is not any different. I'm going all the way to the United States of America to meet singer-songwriter, dancer Jxckson. You are going to go and chat with him. You're going to meet him in a minute. But I think let's go and watch his video for his song that he wrote himself called Drowning. This is Jxckson. See you in a minute.
This much, lost forever. Yeah, I was void of your touch, but it was never enough. Was I ever enough? Oh, it's not the same since you went away. Fight all I have against this rage, and I'll settle for the ways that you create. Floating distance makes me sick. Waves crashing, I can't do this. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Now settle for the waves you create. Waves crashing. As water starts to rush in, stop to catch my breath, but I don't feel a thing, I don't feel anything. Why can't I feel anything? All I have is me, my past is my only enemy. Navigating pain and loneliness, left in your same damn mess. It's like a void in me, why we avoiding it? There's a void in you, time for you to face the truth. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Now settle for the waves you create. It's not the same since you went away. Since you went away. Since you went away. It's not the same since you went away, and I'll settle for the waves that you create. The waves you create. The waves you create. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Waves crashing over me. I'm drowning. Now settle for the waves you create. Oh, it's not the same. It's not the same. Bury me under your waves. Bury me under your waves. Waves crashing, I can't do this.
How bloody cool is that video, and what a great track. Let's go and meet the man behind the both of them. This is our special guest this week. This is Jxckson. Jxckson, welcome to the Jaden Show and to Mexico. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. I'm
We
excited.
just watched Drowning, right?
Drowning, yes.
Bloody love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, really love it. And the videos are amazing. Did you write the song yourself?
Yes, I wrote the song. I wrote that song with producer Boy Sim. It was actually a old demo from a few years ago, and it was a song that was always just kind of sitting with me. And I thought the time was now to modernize it in my current style. And I was so happy I did. And that video, the music video, is also probably one of my favorite projects I've worked on from a visual standpoint.
That's great.
Just
Great.
absolutely came together.
I was going to say top points for music and video and publicity photos and everything. Everything is well cool, man. So how long have you been singing professionally?
Professionally, I started in 2019, about November 2019, a few months before the pandemic started. So it was a great time to be a new artist. I really thought 2020 was going to be my year. It wasn't for anyone. But yeah, so I started 2019, so that's what, a little over 3 years now. So yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, actually, maybe it was a really good year because then you had time to focus on your craft, developing who you are as an artist and stuff like that. So maybe that was all you had. But we take over. I mean, I've been singing for 32 years, so I've been doing it, and I'm still finding myself 32 years later. You've done it because you had to focus in the next 18 months, right?
That's true, and that's kind of how I've been looking at it. I consider myself right now in the artist development phase, where I had the last 3 years to experiment with different sounds and experiment with different visuals, and even just probably the last few months is where I feel like, okay, I could take all that experiences that I've learned, really think and reflect on them, and figure out what I want to do next and who I am as an artist. So it's been really just eye-opening, and I don't know, I just call it my artist development phase, and I'm loving it right now. So
okay, so eye-opening in a good way.
In a good way, in a really positive good way. It's been great, actually.
Oh, fantastic. So why only 2019? When did your love of music begin? When did you start transitioning from I'm a great listener and I love this music to, sorry, I'm going to do it myself?
Yeah, so it's funny. I've been singing and dancing since I was 2. I always joke that we have home videos to prove it. That will never see the light of day if I have anything to say about it. But I've always been singing and dancing. When I was in high school, I started writing demos. So I spent about 10 years writing demo CDs just for my friends to listen to and just to kind of explore for myself. And then it was in 2019, a few months before my 30th birthday, that I realized I kind of had this epiphany in the middle of the night. I was like, I've been doing this corporate game. I've been doing what everyone told me to do, go to school, get a job, focus on music whenever, later. And I was like, I don't want to wait later. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait until I'm much older or live with all this regret of not doing my creative passions and things that I've enjoyed doing since I was 2. So I was like, who says that that's not what I'm supposed to be doing? And I decided, I'm going to switch and release singles and visuals and do it more professionally in 2019. So it's been a lifelong just training ground of writing and songwriting. Really bad songs. So I always say, write. That's how you get better. So
well, absolutely, absolutely. For every shit song, there's one hit, though, right?
There is, and I got them all out early.
Songs.
Yeah. I got them all out before I was professional, so they're out there somewhere.
Hit, loving it.
Hit, just hits, nothing but hits. You heard it here.
So who was you listening to back in the day? And who was you, when you were doing your little demos? Were they covers or were they your songs?
They were my songs for the most. I think majority of them were my songs. So they were just writing. I would find beats online and just write to them, just to write. But who was I listening to as a kid? I was a big Michael Jackson fan as a kid. That's usually what my home videos of me singing and dancing are too. I'm recreating every single music video I can. I think the first one is black or white, and I think it was 2, had a pacifier hanging out of my mouth, and I'm recreating word from word the music video from the dialogue to the singing to the dance moves. So.
Wait, this needs to go live. This does need to come out at some point.
Everyone tells me that one day, maybe one day.
Yeah,
I'll set a goal.
Really
yes, my reflection days.
Yeah, how Jxckson began.
Yes, the humble beginnings.
Okay, so Michael Jxckson was one of your key players in your music development. Who else was in that bag?
Oh yeah, just going back, I think Spice Girls were probably the first pop group that I kind of adopted myself. That wasn't like music that my parents played. It was the first like artist like I like this group for myself. I heard them, you know. So they were pivotal. Destiny's Child, Britney Spears is, I mean,
so
from
good
a pop
90s
perspective.
class pop music, really.
Yes. Oh yeah, and great performances, and just that idea of being a performer, being a singer and a dancer. It's just, I mean, that's one of the blueprints. Janet Jackson, of course, is the other. So great inspirations, and then modern day, probably, you know, like Tinashe is one of my favorite, especially now that she's gone more independent. She's just releasing whatever she wants, her creative vision. It's great to watch. So from that beginning to kind of that today, performers are really who inspire me. I mean, Beyonce too, can't leave her out if we're thinking modern times. So a long list. I could talk all day about them.
and you kind of bring all the essence of what you like the best about each group into your work as well, right?
Yes, I take pieces, and I always say I listen to a lot of different genres. So the reason there's an X in Jackson, not just to be cool or, you know, to be easier to find on searches. I mean, that's a helpful bonus, but the X is a variable. So I always use it as a reminder to reinvent myself, not to hold myself in a box, and to try different elements and bring it into the pop world. So listen to everything from rock, hip hop, K-pop. I mean, you name it. I probably have a song in every genre that I like and I find inspiration from. So
that's amazing, man. So how do your friends and your family take this new jump into being a pop superstar?
It's funny. I think they're kind of used to it. They're used to me just singing and dancing or being in some dance show. They're used to it, so I don't think it really registers. It registers when I get pressed or release a big single or music video, and then they have to stop and they're like, "Oh, wait, you're doing this for real?" Like, we forget, like, you're not just sending it to us; other people see it. So, I think it's kind of the slow awareness of how it's grown, because they just kind of see me as that same. They see me as like 15 years ago, in their head. So they don't. Sometimes they get glimpses of the artist I am today, and they're like, "Oh, wow, okay, yeah, that's happening." Yeah.
Oh, you're like a grown up and everything. That's amazing.
Everything. Wow, full artist. Yes.
So, how is your music being received by? I mean, obviously, you're punting your stuff out there. You're getting followers and stuff like that. What is the general consensus? What are people thinking and feeling about? Because I guess as an artist as well, when you're putting out your stuff, it's actually quite sensitive because it's come from your soul, from your journey, from your path. So how is it being received, and how are you receiving the reception?
Oh, I like that. I love that question. Twofold. So I will say, those kind of thinking about artist development in those first 3 years, I think because I'm a pop music fan, I started writing things I thought other people would like. So the reception was almost too important to me early on. And early on, I made a lot of people feel confident, is what I would hear, which I love songs that allude and make people feel confident, especially if you think of today's society. It's sometimes being visible is not the best thing. It could put you in harm. So I like giving people that sense of confidence when they are struggling to find it. I know songs have done that for me. That's why I love a really good confidence song, to pump myself up. So that was early on. And then I've done a shift. I think Siren was kind of the catalyst for it, but Drowning and Radio Silence, my two recent singles, were a big shift for me, where I started writing music that I wanted to do as an artist and bring my own vision to life. I think that's why my visuals are very important to me. Starting, I think, in January is when I started releasing the new visuals, images, and music videos, because that is my vision. That's my creative projects that I want and people to take away as like, oh, that's Jxckson. So it was a big shift of trying to write commercially and thinking about what people wanted to hear from me to actually the type of music I want to do. So yeah, I'm excited for the reception. The reception's been great for the new songs. People have seen that growth, which I think is the most exciting part for me, because I do want to constantly be growing and changing things up. But yeah, my EP drops on the 25th, so I'll see how that reception goes and how I receive that.
Amazing. Are you doing any live events at the moment?
Not yet, but it's exciting. My choreographer from the Drowning music video, who's a close friend of mine, she was also one of the dancers in the Siren music video, Haley Sykes. We are using this summer to work on a show. I wanted part of this creative control. I think I spent too much time trying to chase people around for a gig spot or set, where I don't want to do that anymore. I'm taking full creative control, what I want to do. So we're spending the summer to work on a small 30-minute set. It is a dark burlesque inspired concert is the best way I can describe it right now. But it's just really cool. We're in the early stages, and like I said, we're going to spend the summer really working and fine tuning it, and hoping to debut it, or at least in a short form, sometime in August. So
amazing. And that will be the songs that you've currently released it on your new EP,
yes.
or is it the whole new show with new songs and new music and everything?
It will be everything from the EP. So the show right now, the working title is also The Deep End, which is the name of the EP. So it will be all songs from that EP, which is 6 tracks. Plus I'm working on 2, maybe 3 covers to go along with it. And then I might modernize a classic from the last 3 years and give it kind of a new, fresh life for the show. So
cool. So quite busy then. Quite frankly.
Quite, yeah. I stay busy.
Do you still have? I hate to say, do you still have a regular job? Do you still have like a job that brings a regular income?
Yes.
Or is this full time at the moment?
No, I definitely have a day job, as I like to say, that funds all my creative projects. It is how I fund it. That's how I look at it. Yeah, so I do that, and then I find time to work on music at all times. It's a 24/7 thing. I know people always ask, like, oh, do you work during the day and work on music at night? I'm like, oh, I'll work on music all day. I'll wake up thinking about it during the day. I'll jot down a note. So it's a 24/7 job, really. Yeah, and then on top of that, I'm also, I dance a lot, so I'm a member of a dance crew in my city. We're a performative dance crew, so I do that as well, just because to have another creative outlet and just kind of keep moving. I just like the movement aspects. It also feeds into the creative endeavors. That's actually how I met Haley, who's also on that dance crew. So I'm constantly inspired by the people around me. And that's kind of where not to ramble on, but that's where the idea of creating my own show came from. Was we did a dance show. Daniel Broxton, who is the director of New Genesis, is the name of the dance crew. He had this idea of a show, and he just wanted to create it and have people come to that show and not have to find areas for us to perform, and actually create our own show. And it was really inspiring for me to see that process from beginning to end, and just really think like, I can do the same thing. What's stopping me? And nothing was stopping me. So now I'm doing it. So
doing it. Fantastic. Yeah. If you had to choose between dance and music, could you?
They go hand in hand for me. Yeah. I love them both. I realized, and this is more in the last year, I realized how much I enjoy being a performer. I think spending most of my artist time in lockdown or trying to figure things virtually, now that I do more shows around more people, I'm realizing, I definitely am that performer. That's why I gravitate towards other performers. So they go hand in hand, but I mean, at the end of the day, I would pick music over dance, just because
that's your first love.
That's my first love. That's what I enjoy doing even more. I like just the songwriting process, and nothing makes me happier than being in a recording studio. That is my happy, safe space, and that is where I feel just the happiest. So
you prefer that over the being on stage performing?
I love them both for different reasons. I think being in the recording studio, it's a lot of just playing and creating, I think is what's really exciting. So that artist part of my brain loves that part, because I'm creating something that didn't exist before, which is really crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I also like performing. I don't know, I just really love the energy of other people. I love to see the real-time reactions to certain parts of the songs, because I'll know like, oh, this is a great part, and I want to see, I'm like staring down people just to see how they react. Yeah, I don't know, it's nice because over time, you get less and less nerves, and that's another reason I'm spending the whole summer working on a show, just to kind of really feel good, own the space, and just focus on the performance aspect. So
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
I remember getting a sheet of music in the morning on the way to a recording studio to record it, and my manager wouldn't allow us to use the lyrics, so we had to learn that song on the way to the recording studio,
God.
and then make up a dance routine to do that song with a dance routine in the show in front of 15,000 people that night.
Whew.
Now I just love the studio.
Yes. Oh man.
Those years of like cramming lyrics, and now I'm just in the studio when I can just really allow the creation of music, rather than I've got to record this, got to dance it, got to dance it, got to perform it, got to perform it. Shit, it's in the show now.
Oh no. That's, I mean, it's a crash course. A lot of learning out of that, but
in the day it was a very different ball game in the music industry.
True.
So
True.
But there's so many good parts of it now. Like, we can get to do this. We couldn't do this in the 90s, and you can sell albums in Cambodia just when you're popping to make a cup of coffee,
Exactly.
So there are so many amazing points now. But no, I wish that. So what's the future hold for Jxckson? I mean, we got EP coming out, or no, actually EP's already out. So your EP's out. We've got we've got some great videos. You're working on your show for the upcoming months. After the future, 5 to 10 year plan.
I love that question. I always change it up. In 5 years, I would love to be touring. So I'll scale back. Let me start after this show, after the summer. I plan to build on it. I am currently still writing music. I'm still planning releases. I plan to release my cover songs this year. I would like to release 2 more singles in the fall, and just focus on singles for the next 2 years. Just to always have something out and creating. That way I can also change it if I want to experiment with something else. But yeah, I would just love to start touring and performing more. I think that's my main goal. And my main focus is really developing and building myself as a performing artist.
So your friend is a choreographer. Your photographer and your videographer, I guess, are they part of the Jxckson crew, or are you externally going out and getting people to work with, or are you doing it yourself?
I'm working with. I'm in this pattern now where I know who I'm like working with. So they're kind of Team Jxckson. My choreographer and friend, she's signed on as my co-creative director right now for the show, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So she will be part of the Team Jxckson for as long as
there's a Team Jxckson.
Team Jxckson. In my head, yes, I call him Team Jxckson. I go to the same videographer. I love working with him. He did my Trent Owens. He did my Siren and Drowning music video.
A great video.
He's really great. Oh, I love working with him. He really takes that vision, level of detail, hyper organized, and I just love his visual style, and how his great ideas he'll add to the ideas versus anyone who's just like, sure, yeah, we'll do this. We'll shoot it next week. He's constantly helping me grow. And then I have my friend Michaela, who is now my official photographer. She's done my last 2-3 music video, not music. She's done my last 2 to 3 photo shoots, and also does my behind the scenes photos as well now. So slowly building a team of the consistent people that I just love working with. I think that's part of the exciting journey of the last 3 years of developing and figuring things out, and don't love every decision I made in the last 3 years, but those are all learning opportunities, and that just made me better, and my process even better.
What is the thing that you love the most over the, in the last 3 years in your evolving period? What has been the thing that you thought, oh, fuck man, this is amazing?
My 2 music videos, Siren and Drowning music videos. I grew up loving music videos.
Yeah.
I still love music videos. If I go anywhere and they play music videos, you can leave me there for hours and I will be content. I can watch music videos all day. I just love them. So having those 2 music videos, actually having a set, having a director, having people, like, it was just exciting for me because as a big music video fan, now I can look back and I was like, oh, I have my own budgeted music videos that I can put on par with those other videos. So it's just a really surreal moment. So sometimes I do catch myself rewatching them just to kind of feel that and remind myself of that journey.
Yeah.
So
see, I watched mine to remember how I used to look. That's why. Like,
I'm not there yet. I probably will be though. I'm gonna be like, wow, what was I worried
another
about
20 years, mate, and then you oh look, that young and pretty. But Jxckson, thank you so much for being on my show. I wish you untold amounts of luck. Not that you need it, but I wish you support and success on your future travels. And hopefully you'll come back and tell us when your first tour is going to start. We can have another little chat and we can do a bit of promotion about that. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I promise I'll be back when that moment happens. Thank you for having me. This is great. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you, mate. People at home, you've met this lovely person. You've seen running through this interview where you can find Jxckson on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, oh my gosh, SoundCloud, Spotify. The list is endless. And I'm sure if you put that J with an X in Google search, you're going to find many, many other places as well. So please go and support Jxckson. Go and find all the places where Jxckson appears. Support, like, share, even tell your enemies, because I'm sure they won't be your enemies once you share Jxckson with them. Jxckson, bless you, mate. Thank you so much. Take care, and we will be in touch.
All right. Thank you.
See you later, dude.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jxckson, for being part of this week's show. Again, thank you, you crazy kids at home, for watching. As we said earlier, please go and support him on not only his social media platforms, but also on his streaming and download sites. And don't forget that EP of his is already out, and you can find it on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, blah, 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 all the major streaming and download platforms. Go and check it out. Go and have a listen. Go and support that guy, because his music's great. His videos are super cool. And I know we're going to be hearing many more great things about Jxckson. Thank you so much. I'm leaving you with another one of my favorite songs from his current EP. It's called Siren. This is Jxckson. Please take care. I will see you next week on The Jaden Show with another wonderful guest. Don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms as well. I will see you next week. Stay beautiful. Take care. Bye-bye.
Proceed with caution. Ring the alarm. Going 100 miles the wrong way. Eyeing my direction, but you see through me. I'm almost there, right on the cusp. Start my engines, rev it up and rev it up. I'm so ready and well equipped. I'll have you right at my fingertips. Ring the alarm. I'm calling out for you, baby. Ring the alarm. Bringing you in like a siren. We could have it all. Just answer my call. That chemistry's building up between us. I'm so ready, in high demand. I'll have you in. Ring the alarm, I'm calling out for you, baby. Ring the alarm, bringing you in like a siren. We could have it all. Just answer my call. Ring the alarm.